the Swami.
You damn right. That's right. I actually looked that up, Mike. Do you know what that means?
Swami? Tell me.
You're really calling me a Buddhist Hindu teacher. But I appreciate that. I always thought that was just like I was really, really good at predicting stuff type of thing. And now because that I know that I'm just teaching Buddhism. That's cool.
The Swami can see the future. The Buddhist Swami can see the future.
Okay. I mean, you could read it, but when I looked it up, it was just funny to see that was the definition of it is a Hindu Buddhist teacher.
Wow.
I'm going to teach you all how to be calm today. Let me see if I have access here. You want me to have Christopher Walken and Ifatu Malafanu bring us in?
Yeah, man, do what you got to do.
Well, let me see if I can get this to happen here. Okay, here you go.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifatu Malafanu, safety for the Detroit Lions, and I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast, and I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team, and I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
Good morning, everybody. Brent. Good morning, Aiden. Good morning, Mr. Fred Peterson. Good morning, Jordan. Jesse, the Swami. Dwayne.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Football Talk with Russell Wayne. I am your interim host, Main Event Mike. Russ had a hair appointment today with the hairdresser, so I'm filling in for him. We do have him on phone, though. Russ, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. I'm trying to fix the thing. We put us both out there.
That's okay. This is the good-looking version of the show. Welcome to the show, folks. We are doing this. It is Wednesday. It's Lions Football Talk Wednesday on Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We are here to talk about Detroit Lions. We might touch on some other things too, but mostly it's Detroit Lions and it's content driven by the viewers. So put your comments in and we might mention you. We might put your comment up. I don't know, but either way, we love your input and thank you. Let's kick it off with what everybody's talking about. Lion of the Week. The Villain Squad Lion of the Week. That's what everyone's talking about. I know the players in the locker room are talking about it. Hey, did you hear Badgley won Lion of the Week last week? I know. Someday, hopefully, I can win that award. Well, we have some nominees from the divisional win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let's just start with Derek Barnes, right? Let's start with Derek Barnes as my nominee for Lion of the Week. He had 4 solo tackles. He also had the game-sealing interception. A lot of people down on Derek Barnes because he whiffed on that potential safety against the Cowboys, which probably would have won the game for Detroit. I want to know, put it in the comments, the answer to this question. Did Derek Barnes make up for that whiffed tackle on Dak Prescott by intercepting that ball against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs and sealing the game? I think he did. I think he redeemed himself because, honestly, that was one of the most confusing plays I'd ever seen in my life. I didn't understand how Derek Barnes just ran right past Dak Prescott. There's been no explanation from him on that, so I certainly would love to know how that happened. But I totally think he redeemed himself, getting his first career interception in the closing moments of the Buccaneer game, squashing the Bucs' hope of pulling that game out at the end. So Derek Barnes, third year, Brad Holmes draft pick, finally coming in. Dan Campbell said at his presser, hey, look, man, some guys are just late bloomers, okay?
Look, man.
Look, man. So, Russell Wayne, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm great show so far, man. I love the commentary. And last night, after you got off of the show, it was overwhelming in the comments that Frank Ragnow is to be nominated. So that is going to be my nominee right now. I got to put Frank Ragnow in as my nominee for Lion of the Week, coming in and playing on one kneecap and one ankle, and he bit some kneecaps and ankles. He pushed Vita Vea out of the way for that 1 yard Craig Reynolds touchdown run, and that's just impressive to me.
Right. Jeffrey Addison, our good buddy, says Barnes is great, but no doubt it's Ragnow. He agrees with you. The guy doesn't feel pain when it comes to his team. Right. When it comes to his team, he doesn't feel pain. So that's a great call out. Also, Henry Gray says, I nominate Frank the Tank or Anzalone because he played both playoff games with 3 fractured ribs.
Man.
What a great call out that is.
And from the famous words of Jesse Ventura, I ain't got time to bleed.
And the wrestling references come early this morning. John says, I vote for Frank. Aiden Powell, who happens to be Jack Campbell's cousin, I believe, votes for Jack Campbell. I love it.
Jack Campbell, right on, man. He is a tackling machine. And I know that Aiden is a huge Jack Campbell fan. And I know that he's watching the show right now, and he loves to get these Jack Campbell shout outs right here. What a tackling machine.
Yeah.
Almost had an 80 grade PFF style just on the tackling alone. The dude doesn't miss. He doesn't miss tackles very often, if at all. Good call out.
I love it. Elise Meme says the Sun God is my Lion of the Week every week.
Yeah, but that's just because she wants to date him.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. So we've got 3 votes for Ragnow so far and 2 votes for Derek Barnes. And 1 vote for Jack Campbell. Aiden, I'll get that in for you. For sure. So put your comment in. Let us know who's your Lion of the Week this week on Lions Football Talk with Russell Wayne, Lion of the Week.
I'll throw one in there. I got another one that I was just thinking. Did anybody say anything about Jahmyr Gibbs?
No, didn't even got. But the guy had over 100 yards from scrimmage. He was an absolute beast. The game was 17-17 when he busted off a 32-yard run and left an all-pro safety standing in his shoes. I mean, Antoine Winfield Jr. took off running, but his shoes stayed right there on the turf. So
come on with it.
Move. What a run.
Come on with it, Mike. That's it. Right there. Jahmyr Gibbs right there, closing the game out. That I want to throw that nominee in there too. You can vote for it too. It looks like it's going to be Frank right here. I mean, the toughness of this guy is unbelievable. But Jahmyr Gibbs definitely, he could be a game changer in this NFC Championship game too, Mike.
We just got 2 more votes for Jahmyr Gibbs, so it's going neck and neck at this point. You know who is not going to get a vote for Lion of the Week, and that is Cam Sutton, who is our CB1, but he seems to be getting beat every single week. Oh, our good friends here from the Quinn and Phaedra Bartlett team from Remax Realtors. Quinn says, do you think Sutton can pick up his game this week? He just seems to be the weak link. He draws the toughest receivers, but damn. Yeah. And to your point, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Bartlett being the OG sponsor of this program?
The original sponsor when we had 12 followers. Quinn sponsored our show.
Oh, man, dude, give them one of your fine promos for absolutely free because they deserve it.
If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, be sure to call the Quinn and Phaedra Bartlett team at Remax Select. That's the Quinn and Phaedra Bartlett team at Remax Select, voted Realtor of the Year in 2022. Quinn and Phaedra Bartlett team, working hard for you.
Dude, that was so good. That was so good. That was awesome. And I know that they're huge fans. And that's one of the things about our sponsorships. When people sponsor our shows, we don't want to find just any sponsor. You got to like the football team. Don't just use us to get your name out there. And I know that Quinn is a huge Lions fan, so that's the only way that that relationship works anyway.
Yeah, if you're a Bear fan, we don't want your money. Well, actually,
no, you can give us your money, but we ain't going to do shit for you other than trash your team.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Quinn. We had like 12 followers when he sponsors. Now the Villain Squad over 31,000 villains. Woo-hoo. Now we are crushing it. So, but to your point, Quinn, Cam Sutton does seem to be getting beat every week. He's our CB1. He's the best we got out there. Okay, Brian Branch is a slot corner or a safety. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson, again, a safety or a slot corner. Our true CB1, he's the best we have. Let's roll with him. But to your point, hopefully in the offseason, we can make Cam Sutton signed to a 3-year contract. So let's hope that Cam Sutton can be the floor, right? The floor of our defensive backfield, not the ceiling. Because right now he's at the top. He's the best we've got. And these numbers bear it out too, by the way. Here's the numbers for the last 5 weeks. What the Detroit Lions secondary has given up to opposing quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, 349 yards. Matt Stafford, 367 yards. It just keeps getting worse, folks, by the way. Nick Mullins, who? Nick Mullins, 396 yards. Dak Prescott, 345 yards. The week before that, Nick Mullins again, 411 yards. That's the last 5 weeks, folks. It wasn't until the game, week 15 against the Broncos, that they limited Russell Wilson to 223 yards. So that's the last time they kept someone under 300. Hovering right around 400 yards passing, this secondary's given up. Now, on the flip side of that, to the Lions defense credit, in those games, those same games, they allowed 89, 68, 89, 61, and 17 yards rushing, respectively. So you can see the formula here. Lions limit the other team's rush. They're rated, number 2 or 3 in the league in rush defense, keeping every team under 100 yards. But the quarterback and the receivers chew us up. And in those games, we had a receiver either break 200 yards or come very close to breaking 200 yards in every single one of those games. So you could see the pattern here. The Lions defense secondary, very shaky. The numbers don't lie, okay? They may not tell the whole story, but they don't lie that this secondary is suspect. And the question is, can Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, can these guys, and McCaffrey out of the backfield, don't forget about him, are these guys going to be able to expose the Lions? Well, let's take a look on the flip side of that. Here are the the San Francisco 49ers numbers over that same span. They had a bye week for being the number 1 seed, so we only have 4 in the sample size for the Niners here. Against Green Bay, Brock Purdy had 252 yards passing, and the Niners had 111 yards rushing. Against the Rams, it was Sam Darnold, only 189. We can really throw that one out because Brock Purdy was on the bench. But they rushed for 125 yards in the game. Washington Commanders, they played, and Brock Purdy threw for 230 yards, and they rushed for a whopping 184. Against the Baltimore Ravens in a losing effort, the Niners threw for 255 yards, but they rushed for 121. So again, the numbers bear out the story here. The Niners run the ball as good or better than any team in the NFL, and the Lions stop the run as good or better than any team in the NFL. So that's really going to be the most intriguing matchup for me, is going to be the Niners offense against the Lions defense. If we can shut down the run and make Brock Purdy one-dimensional, do they have a receiver like those other teams, like Justin Jefferson, like CeeDee Lamb? Do they have one of those guys on their team that can blow up for 200 yards? Because if you don't, you're probably not going to beat these Detroit Lions, okay? You need to beat us deep because that's our weakness, and that's what NFL teams do, right? They attack your weakness. Russ, you got any commentary on all those stats and baloney I just sent out?
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret that the Lions have a weakness as it comes to their defensive backfield. And I think that Cam Sutton gets he gets kind of a bad rap in this because the way that defenses attack is they're going to attack the weakest part of your team. And that's what it is. Cam Sutton would be a great defensive back number 2 if there was a shutdown corner to take out the team's best player. He's great at covering that secondary guy, and he's going to be worth the money when that is shored up. But the way that the Lions have been playing defense lately is they're blitzing safeties. They got a good player in Iffy Melifanu who's starting to break out. You got Chauncey Gardner back. So they're sending exotic pressures, which leaves your cornerbacks even more exposed than normal before. So teams are betting that they can protect their quarterback long enough so they can't throw that deep ball. And that's what the Lions are really betting on, because we don't have the horses to run with the number 1 and number 2 receiver. So we're going to have to get home on Brock Purdy in order to win this game. They're going to be sending those exotic blitzes, and Brock Purdy is not that good underneath pressure like that. When there's no running game and he's there, you just brought it up, man. That was it. You brought that up. They don't do very well. Brock Purdy can throw 2-3 interceptions. He tries to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the secret sauce to beating them, forcing them into a couple turnovers. They may get a couple big bombs. Their number 1 wide receiver or George Kittle, somebody's going to go over 100 yards receiving. I mean, just get ready for that. Don't get mad. Get ready for that. And the Lions know that too. So they're looking for a couple takeaways and being able to run the ball against that team that just allowed 100 yards rushing to Aaron Jones and a lesser offensive line. So I don't know if that helps in all the stats that you put in, but I think you're really just telling me that the Lions have a chance to win this game.
Absolutely, they have a chance, and I think it's going to be important for the Lions to get out to a lead in this game. But you touched on it right there, Russ. If the pass rush can get home to Brock Purdy, obviously, I mean, we're just assuming that the Lions are going to stop the run. They've been doing it all year. But on passing downs, if the Lions can get to Brock Purdy and put some pressure on him, make him press, we've seen it this year in the 4 of the losses from the Niners. He'll make mistakes, right?
Right.
He will make mistakes. He's a young quarterback. It's his first year starting. Hell, he's a rookie, 7th round pick. Rookie's in a great system with a great supporting cast, a great team around him. But I don't want to take anything away from Brock Purdy like so many do in the national media, people who get paid a lot more than us, who think that Brock Purdy is just a system quarterback, that he's nothing special, that you could plug pretty much anyone in there and they could have the same success. That is a bunch of bull, okay? This kid is the real deal, and he's going to be the starter there in San Francisco for many years to come. You mark my words.
So what you're saying is he's Jared Goff.
He's Jared Goff, but he's a 7th round draft pick. So
yeah, but no, what I'm saying is, like, that's the exact same stuff they say about Jared Goff. It's almost like if you have a good offensive line and you get protected and you have playmakers, all of a sudden, I guess he has no skills, because all he does is get it into the hands of his playmakers, and they bail him out.
Well, I get what you're saying there, but I think but I think the narrative on Jared Goff is more about keeping Jared clean. The weapons aren't even that. I don't think they are that similar in that respect either, Russ, in my opinion, because you just need to keep Jared clean, and it doesn't matter who's out there. If it's Khalif Raymond, Antoine Green, it doesn't matter. You keep Goff clean, and he doesn't turn the ball over, he'll carve you up. And I don't think that's the narrative on Brock Purdy. I don't think that is the narrative on Brock Purdy. I think the narrative on Brock Purdy is he has such an incredible team around him that he pretty much is set up for success. All he's got to do is not screw it up.
But to me, like, the fact that that's looked at like a negative is funny to me, because he's been fantastic this year. I mean, let's put it to you. He's had a couple of bad games, but every quarterback has had a couple bad games. And Brock Purdy's the real deal. And so is Jared Goff. This could be a great matchup. I think that the Lions have the advantage at quarterback, when it comes to it, because I mean, Goff's more experienced in this situation. I think our offensive line is better than their offensive line. And even though they have Trent Williams, I don't know, man. We got an ascending defense right now. So anybody that wants to throw stats at you from the defense of the Lions for the entire year is not seeing the entire picture. You got to really look at how it's progressed. I mean, Ife Melifanu didn't come on until like game 12, 13 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And these are our major playmakers now. So it's a funny matchup because, you know, you're thinking Nick Bosa and Chase Young. That's lethal. That is freaking lethal. Unless your left and right tackle are Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. So I'm sorry, but that's strength on strength. And I'm going to be saying Nick who. If he's going up against Penei Sewell all day, he ain't doing shit. So that's a good matchup between our offensive line and their defensive line. And I think that's a wash. And if the Lions are able to score points on this team, and I think they can get out ahead, and San Francisco's not used to playing from behind. Now, here's one thing. The Lions have to stop the run, right? They've been stopping the run. Like, we're assuming that they're going to stop the run. But if they don't stop the run and Christian McCaffrey's running wild, then the Lions are going to get blown out of this game if they don't stop the run.
Right. And to Quinn's original question about Cam Sutton, is it Cam Sutton's play or is it Aaron Glenn's scheme? Is it Aaron Glenn's play calling?
Yeah, that's a yes. That's
both,
Mike.
Yeah, I agree. It's both because if you watch the last game against the Buccaneers, Mike Evans was eating Cam Sutton up, had nothing to do with the scheme in that ball game. He's just 6'5" against a 5'11" corner. And he's fast and he's big and he's physical. And those kind of players, just like Justin Jefferson, just like CeeDee Lamb, they're going to give us problems. And when you've got Kindle Vildor is the guy on the other side helping Cam Sutton, I think it's a little harsh on Cam Sutton. Look, Cam Sutton could play on any NFL team. He would start on any NFL team right now. He might not be their CB1 or even their CB2, but he's definitely good enough to make it on the field there. And that's something we didn't really have last year that much. I mean, Jerry Jacobs is okay, but he's not going to start for Philly. He's not going to start for Dallas. Well, Cam Sutton is good enough to be on the field with those guys. Make no mistake about that.
So let me show you the other side of that where the scheme does affect that, but I do believe that the Lions can live with it. Is you're sending 5 or 6 people at the quarterback to try to disrupt him. So you are betting that those guys are going to get home before they can even make that throw. So Cam Sutton is being put on the island, just like Kendall Vildor is being put on an island, and they are living with the chunk plays. Now, when Cam Sutton falls down and gives up a touchdown, that's on him. But when it comes to he's got Mike Evans one-on-one, well, you need Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Derek Barnes to get home on that blitz before that ball's even out. So that is not on Cam Sutton. You're not expecting him to win that matchup. They're willing to give those yards up as long as they can get home on the back end and disrupt the quarterback. So the scheme does affect that, but I think that the team is a lot more forgiving of Cam Sutton just because they're putting him in that position. Like that's what it is. He's probably going to lose. They know he's going to lose 50% of those balls, going into it because they want their pass rush to get home first. That's what they're betting on.
Hey, Russ, we got a scammer here in the comments trying to sell some bogus tickets to the Niners game, and it doesn't give me the little 3 dots to delete his comment. I don't know why. Do you know why that is? It's right under this one here from Jeffrey Addison, who says, after we develop a run game, I see a flea flicker for 50 plus to JMO. What a great call. I hope you're right. I've been looking for that actually for the last couple of games. Every time he drops back or he's in that shotgun with a running back to his right, I feel like, here comes that flea flicker. Here comes that flea flicker. Yeah, that's the one right there.
I don't have a thing for it either. I don't know. How these scammer? How do you get it so everybody else has 3 dots, scammer?
I know somehow
Don't-
these guys know how to do that, right? Because all the other comments have the 3. I can delete every comment in this feed except the one I want to. Yeah, you suck. Don't buy any of these tickets, folks. Don't fall for this scammer. He can go suck it.
Yeah. See, we don't put up with that. We don't put up with your kind around here, with your kind trying to sell those tickets.
We got the comments are going crazy right now. You guys are cracking me up.
Well,
We got some new folks, new names and faces in here. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Fred, as always, for everything that you do. Don't forget, folks, patreon.com/Villain Squad. You can help keep this show on the air. Also, follow us on Facebook, Lions Villain Squad. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Main Event 365. I have an eye appointment today to get rid of these Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. It'll probably be a couple of weeks. I'll get some new glasses, and you won't be able to see the reflection of my screen in them either anymore. So I got a hard stop today at about 10 to 12, Russ. So just be prepared for that.
oh, wait, yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that's fine. We are jacked up right now for playoff football here in the city of Detroit. So, and everybody's feeling the magic, man. It's like you've won a couple playoff games now, and we're hungry. We want it all. And it's like there's only 4 teams left. You win this game, you get into the Super Bowl. Why not the Detroit Lions?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Why not?
Like, this team isn't so much better than us. I think they are a better team top to bottom. They've been there before, you know. They've been in these big games. This just so happens to be our first of many shots at this because this is a young Lions team. We ain't going nowhere either. I mean, yeah, Brad Holmes has built a gem right here. And I think it's ironic that here we are, you know, at the trade deadline, the Lions took a lot of crap for not going after Chase Young and spending draft capital to, you know, try to win this year. And now here Dan Campbell is, you know, he bet on his players. He bet on his coaches, you know, to not go out there and go waste draft capital. Because that man right there, Brad Holmes, I would rather have him pick that 3rd round pick than to have Chase Young on this team. And I'm not backing down from that. I am happy that he bet on Josh Pascal and Romeo Okwara and, you know, whoever they want to put on. Every one of the guys they have that at that other end can play, you know. And then Aiden Hutchinson. You're finding out what motor is, folks. Motor isn't something just somebody getting through that whole game. Motor is somebody getting through the whole year. And I love me some Trent Williams, man. I think he's the best tackle maybe ever. I mean, he is a beast, but he's got a body that has taken, you know, 18, 19, 20 weeks of punishment now. And Aiden Hutchinson seems like about week 12, 13 is when his motor just started going. So Aiden Hutchinson seems to be getting stronger while the other teams are having players that are looking like they've played 19 or 20 games. So look out for Aiden Hutchinson to have a big game and disrupt this game. And he could change this game. Aiden Hutchinson.
He is a game wrecker. He absolutely could impact this game and change this game. He's on a tear right now, Russ.
But that is Trent Williams. That isn't some jabroni.
Yeah, but Trent. Yeah, but they've been lining Aiden up over the right tackle. So
okay,
that's. So I mean, won't have to face. He probably won't have to face Trent Williams much. Fred says San Francisco doesn't have a wide receiver like Mike Evans, right? Who does, right? That guy's special. So that's a great call out. Also, we got Jason Smith who says this game will be a battle in the trenches. It's all about the pressure we can bring. You are spot on, Jason, with that.
My man right there. You know how I feel about that. You know.
Yeah, the trenches is where it's all at. Jeremy B., our good friend, who's a writer for the South Florida Tribune, says Houston on passing committee anytime else versus Trent Williams. So Jeremy seems to believe, and his information is usually pretty reliable. Jeremy believes that James Houston will, in fact, play. He was inactive for the last game. I thought I saw him on the sideline, but
he was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, I must have been mistaken because he was listed as inactive. So, yeah, Brent says that as a child, he was so ugly that his mom would tie a pork chop around his neck just to get the dog to play with him.
That is phenomenal.
The weather forecast for San Francisco on Sunday, thanks to Ken, partly sunny, mid-60s, 5 to 8 mile an hour wind is the forecast in San Francisco. Thank you for
beautiful.
That. I was wondering about that. Sounds like a beautiful night for football is what it sounds like.
And they're going to be in Jared Goff's backyard, aren't they?
They are, and that plays to Jared Goff right there because he doesn't play well in the elements, right? We know this. It's historic. From the day he came into the league, if the weather's not good, neither is Jared Goff. So playing outdoors is always sketchy, but knowing that the weather's going to be good, he's not going to need a glove, it's not going to be rainy. Those things bode very well for the Lions' chances here.
You know, there is no doubt in my mind that at this point in time that the Lions have the best fans in all of football right now. Now, we're going to really get a chance to see a test right here because if I'm the San Francisco 49ers in that I am denying some access, I'm not selling my season tickets. I'm not I am hoarding and making sure that like the Lions did, because I've never seen a crowd so one-sided than in that Tampa Bay game and then in that Rams game. I mean, they took it over. They did not allow these visitors to come in. I'm wondering if the Lions are going to be able to take it over because our friend Eric is going out there. He's another Facebook creator. He's going out to the game in San Francisco. So I'm curious to see how many tickets did those San Francisco fans, did they sell out for their team to allow more Lions fans to be in there? Because we'll buy up all the tickets. I know a whole bunch of traveling Lions fans. They'll buy up half of that stadium if you let us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think? Do you think that we could see 20% Lions fans at this NFC Championship because we travel so well?
Yeah, I don't know. The Niners have a very passionate fan base out there in California, and they sell out every game. So I don't know.
They've been numb. They've been numb, Mike.
That's true.
They've been here every year. You know, are they like those Packer fans?
Right.
That are just kind of like, yeah, you know, we got so many division championships. We just don't know what to do with them anymore. Mm-hmm. And they don't feel them. They don't appreciate them anymore. You know,
and they've been to so many. They've seen so much success. Hell, the Niners have been to 4 out of 5 of NFC championship games last 5 years. So, and we saw that in Kansas City in Week 1. Hell, they just won the Super Bowl, and the Lions were able to infiltrate that stadium because they've won. So it's old hat to them, right? And the money. Hey, I can get double what I paid for these tickets. Let's sit home and watch it on TV. So
that's right.
Maybe we can get that. Maybe we can get that. That same energy going in San Francisco where Lions fans come in and eat up all the tickets and really make it even the playing field a little bit.
Because we're hungrier.
Our good friend A-Dub in the house, he's a Packer fan, says, feels good to hear the news that Joe Barry's been fired today. Love the comment. We appreciate you being here, A-Dub, but it's Lions Wednesday. Please come back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that at length tomorrow about what the Green Bay Packers are going to do moving forward with a defensive coordinator. I mean, hell, they won a wild card playoff game and took the number 1 seed right down to the wire. I mean, is this guy that bad? Let's talk about that tomorrow for sure. I love this comment here by Brian Stover, who's giving his age away, by the way. I hope Michael Badgley doesn't go from hero to GOAT like Eddie Murray did in 83. Now, I know that's before your Lion fandom there, Russell. 83 divisional round playoff in San Francisco. Lions with a chance to win. Eddie Murray goes wide left with a field goal to win the game, and the Lions go home. And, of course, the Niners go on to win the Super Bowl. So Let's hope we don't see that. In fact, let's hope that we see what happened in 57, where the Lions had to go across the country and play a playoff game on the road. They beat the Niners, and they go on to win the championship. So there is a little history between these two teams. And speaking of history, Deebo Samuel and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, these two do not like each other, folks.
What's up with Debo?
Deebo stole my bike.
That's my bike, punk. That's my bike.
That's my bike. So these two do not like each other. It goes all the way back to college. I even heard someone say it goes even all the way back to high school All-American game, which is crazy, right? That this beef's been going on that long. And last year in the conference finals, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, of course, a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, when they beat the San Francisco 49ers in the title game. They knocked Brock Purdy out on the first series. Philadelphia goes on to the Super Bowl. I guess CJ was jawing really hard in that game against Deebo. Deebo now, CJ comes out and puts some comments on Twitter, and Deebo fires back. Yesterday, CJ Gardner-Johnson puts out a video telling Deebo to sit down, son. Oh, you're the same guy who requested a trade? You're the same guy who complained about having to run the ball? Wow. How about that comment from Robert, our Packer fan? It's your first NFC Championship game. Well, actually, it's not, Robert, but I understand your sentiment. Good luck, fellas. Appreciate that call. Thank you. Robbie says, I'm not a Lions fan. Oh, sorry. Nice to see Rajneesh peek out of the basement. Oh, we're not trash talking, are we? Robbie says, I'm not a Lions fan, but I hope they win it. Thank you for that, Robbie. We do have a hard stop today at 12:50, folks, or 11:50, folks. So that's why you hear the ending music so early. But we're not done yet. We still got, we still got a 10 whole minutes, folks. We can talk about anything you want. Let's go to some of these comments, Russ. What do you think?
I love it, man. I just put the music in because, when you have it in the background, it's just something that ties together. I think I may put a bunch of little selections in there. We might put music behind us for most of it. We might try that for next season.
Here's Rajneesh stopping by to say what up and good luck, since you guys say I don't show up when y'all are here winning, and F you, Jeremy. Oh, wait. That's oh, sorry. I put words in your mouth, Rajneesh. Sorry.
Yeah. There are the good fans that are out there, man. I appreciate the ones that fan hard. A-Dub's in here supporting it. Yeah. And I think that they support it because we keep it real, Mike.
How about this one? Scott Smith, who's a member of Cobra Kai, says, if Deebo plays, attack his shoulder. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, Scott says. Love it. Oh, we got some score predictions here from Ken. Lions 28, Niners 27. Michigan owns San Francisco's field goal kicker. Moody misses the game winner, 50-yarder at the end of the game. Wow, love that call.
Wow. You shouldn't. Don't use a third-round pick on a kicker.
I don't know. He's been a pretty damn good kicker, Russ, as we all knew he would be. I mean, when you've got a team like that, when you've got the Niners and you're loaded like that, it's kind of almost the position the Lions are going to be in this draft. Well, who's losing their job? Outside of the secondary and maybe a defensive lineman, I mean, who's going to lose their job on this team? They've all played well enough to still be here. And I think it was the same thing with the Niners last year. And they look, where do we have a deficiency? All right, let's take the best kicker in the country. Well, what round do you think we can get him? Well, I don't know. Let's use a third on him. Well, that's too high for a kicker. Yeah, but we don't have a lot of holes.
Right.
Let's ensure that we get him.
Yep. F them picks at that point. I feel that, I don't think it was dumb. I don't think it was dumb for Chicago to throw a second round pick at, Sweat. I think it was too high of a pick, but when you got to build your team. You got to build your team by any means necessary. And they're doing that. And I'm very curious to see what Brad Holmes does this offseason. I mean, he's never been in this position. He's never been in a position where you didn't need freaking everything, So now he's got to just bring more talent on the team. And how is he going to do it when there's already a lot of talent on the team? Who's going to go?
Well,
like, interesting year for Brad Holmes.
It's a lock now because Elise Memes has a good feeling about this game. Goff back in Cali. He's played the stadium and faced Shanahan in 60-degree weather. Please, Lord, let the Lions win. So it's a lock. Elise got a good feeling. It's a lock. But I do like the meat of that comment. You're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, couple of Cali guys, right? Jared Goff's played in that stadium many times as a member of the Los Angeles Rams. He faced the Lions. He went to that stadium once a year. He faced the Niners twice a year, once. So he's been in that stadium many times. He knows exactly what to expect from the parking lot to the tunnel to the locker room to the fans in the stands. You're not going to surprise Jared Goff, who's a cool customer too, by the way. Those have been the accolades that have been thrown on him and the remarks that have been thrown on him all year is what a competitor, what a cool customer he's been all year. He never gets rattled. He's got ice water in his veins. You hear all those, metaphors thrown at him all year. So that's going to bode well for the Lions. I really got a good feeling about this game too. I have all year. I felt like we're going to win the Super Bowl and people call me an idiot. But here we are in the title game. Oh, and Josh Reynolds too. Good call, Jordan. Good call, Jordan. Josh Reynolds also knows it from the stands to the parking lot, inside and out, knows exactly what to expect. Look for these two to hook up. Goff and Reynolds, that could be good because even though the Niners are deep, every team has a hole somewhere, right? And your third corner, if your number one is covering Amon-Ra and your number two's got Laporta, Josh Reynolds probably going to be open. And then I'm sorry, I mean cut you off because Ken makes a great point. Zach Ertz also knows that whole system out there from playing with the Arizona Cardinals. Maybe we could see Zach Ertz have an impact on this game. He knows this Niners team. He's played them this year. It's a great call, Ken. Thank you. Go ahead, Russ. What'd you have?
I'm just excited. I'm excited for this weekend. It's a good time to be a Lions fan, and Jared Goff is a cool cucumber, man. He's ice water in his veins when he needs to make a big throw. I mean, and there's a bunch of guys on our team that are like that. We ain't gonna be no easy out. You can't look at the games that happened in the middle of the season where the Lions were struggling and think that this is that team, and get scared about those things that happened in those moments. This is a different team now. Defensively, I mean, you look at that game, Mike Evans goes off. You have one guy that goes off, but the defense has been locking these teams out. This defense has been playing good enough to win, and then they're closing games out, guys. Mm-hmm. They're closing the game out. You're done. I'm kneeling down on the ball because you're done. We dragged you out to the deep water.
And here's one you're not going to like from Greg. Lions need a strong third quarter. It's been their weakest link all year. It sure has. Third quarter struggles coming out, especially after halftime on the first drive. I think in the last 8 weeks, they've only had one score in the third quarter opening drive.
And thank God that was against the Rams. Okay,
that's a great call out, Greg. Thank you. Also, Ken Fisher, who has a nice big parlay bet at the beginning of the year where Michigan would win the national title and the Lions would win the Super Bowl. And Ken, I need 2 more victories for the old Tom Cruise phrase, show me the money. We are all pulling for you, Ken, because we know you said you were going to donate $700 to this podcast if you did win that bet. So we are pulling hard for you, my friends.
That's awesome, man.
Don't forget, tomorrow is Good Vibes Thursday here on Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, The Villain Squad, Lions Villain Squad. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at Main Event 365 on YouTube. Our YouTube is about 640 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube already, head on over there and subscribe to our YouTube because we're really trying to get that caught up. Some great comments today. What a great bunch of people we have here, this little family, little community that we are building here. And I want to tell you on behalf of Russell Wayne and myself, we appreciate you guys so much. Every morning we get on and we talk about you guys. And in the words of Dan Campbell, all I think about is you guys. It's all I think about. Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul. He has committed an $800 donation. What a guy. Thank you, Paul. Sean says, no, it was 800. I remember.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious.
And Ryan Mercer, the tree guy, says this secondary is the worst recorded in playoff era. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
And didn't we talk about that? I think that has to do with scheme. A lot of that has to do with scheme. I mean, other than the fall downs, I think that there was 2 or 3 fall downs in the last couple of weeks. You know, the CeeDee Lamb fall down. Stop falling down, defensive backs.
Yes, stop leaving your feet. And like Dan Campbell said when he started to put his hands on this defense, keep the ball in front of you and make the tackle. Right? They know they have deficiencies back there in the secondary, and they're doing what they can to mitigate it. I mean, that's just good coaching. Ryan also says that Goff will throw 2 picks. I guess Ryan, the tree guy, is not a Lions fan, or maybe he's just one of those Debbie Downer.
That's fine. They can say whatever they want. Goff has been efficient. If Goff throws a bunch of picks, the Lions are in trouble. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
No doubt about that. If Jared Goff doesn't take care of the football, Lions are going to lose for sure. And you could say that about any team, though, really.
But I've said on here a lot that our defense is our offense, guys. Our defense, you know, there's not one team that's in here that isn't without some sort of weakness.
Absolutely.
You know, so our Achilles heels is getting beat deep. So Aaron Glenn is attacking these quarterbacks. If they pick these blitzes up, our defensive backs are on an island against their best players. So, I mean, that's your kryptonite. You got to get home, guys. They got to win those one-on-one battles and get to Brock Purdy.
Tomorrow's Good Vibes Thursday. We may have a special guest on the show tomorrow. I'm trying to work it out. Believe me, you'll want to be here for that. If we do get the special guest that I'm working on, try to get here. It will be kind of cool. So I don't want to give anything away right now, but yeah. So tomorrow, Good Vibes Thursday. We're going to talk about all the teams in the NFC North and all the teams that are remaining in the playoffs. We'll update you with news, rumors. Of course, Jeremy B will be going on at 10 a.m. We'll be on at 11 a.m. here on the Lions Main Event 365 Network. I'm going to go ahead and jump off now and get to the eye doctor. Russ, you almost done with your hair appointment?
Almost done. I can close us out right here.
All right, buddy.
So,
God bless you all. Peace out. Oh, wait. Now I don't want to end the stream like I did last time, right?
Yeah.
I got a button here that says leave studio, and there's another button that says end stream. I want to hit leave studio.
All right. Mike's going to leave the studio and see if it doesn't end the stream. I'm going to find out. In 5, 4, 3, now. Now that's Main Event Mike right there. You can always count on him to be here every day. Football Talk with Russell Wayne. He's my compadre. And tomorrow is Good Vibes Thursdays. And this question that you're seeing right here, are the Lions, or it's not a question, it's a true or false. You know, the Lions aren't as good as a good team. I'm going to say this is going to be false if they can win this game. I mean, you're going into the NFC Championship right here, and this is a team that all year long, this is the team that you were compared to as a team that you just couldn't beat. You're just not as good as San Francisco. Oh, the Lions are getting better. They are. Lions are getting better, but they're not as good as San Francisco, right? This is the marker right here, guys. San Francisco, they got to go in there. This is the game. This is the game that I wanted. I was not rooting for Green Bay to win against San Francisco. I can't root for my rivals like that. That's just me. That's just me. I can't root for my rivals. I wanted a piece of this. I wanted this matchup. And maybe I'll regret it. Maybe Christian McCaffrey will run wild on us. And Brock Purdy will look like the MVP. And it's going to be Brock Purdy versus the Baltimore Ravens. And the MVP candidates can go head up. Right? Maybe that's what everybody thinks is going to happen. Right? That's possible. But I wanted this matchup. This is what you measure your team up. The Lions are a roster full of first, second, and third year guys. You know, there's a couple of exceptions. You got a couple crafty veterans. Frank Ragnow is the best player on the team. And I'm pretty sure if I go back through the comments here, we'll be announcing the winner of Lion of the Week on the Villain Squad. But Frank Ragnow is our best player. He's the leader of this team. You know who our second best player is? Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell. He's a beast. He's a beast. He might be the best tackle in football. The guy you're playing on the other side might be the other one. Trent Williams. Third best player on our team is Taylor Decker. All year long. I mean, all three of them guys, every time that they play together, it's special. Those are the three best players. And then you can get into your Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. Those guys end up being even better than they already are because of guys like Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, and Taylor Decker. So this Lions team, you know, Jared Goff, you got to keep him clean in order for them. Yeah, you do. You have a downhill running game that you can match up against this team. Their strength, our strength is against their strength. Their defensive line is great, but our offensive line is great. I think we can block these guys. I think these guys. Now, where are the Lions weak? Secondary. They ain't got the horses to get in a secondary battle with those guys. The Lions defense is their offense. The Lions defense is gone aggressive. They're going to come after Brock Purdy. You know, the Lions secondary may be the weakest because I'm looking at you guys. Ryan says, the tree guy says the Lions have the weakest secondary in the history of the playoffs. That might be true. I mean, I think that's a little bit overboard. I think that's way exaggerated. But every team has a weakness. And where they're not weak is on the offensive line and being able to run the football. And how do you beat a team like this? Is you get out ahead of San Francisco and you run the football. Aaron Jones just ran for 100 yards on this defense, Ryan, the tree guy. Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor are not starting cornerbacks. So the style of defense they've been playing, and it's been working because they've been winning these games. But they're blitzing their safeties, and they're getting home with their safeties. And the weakness on that, when you're blitzing your safeties, Ryan, the tree guy, is going to be, you're going to be out there on an island with Cam Sutton. He's going to be one-on-one against their best receivers. And if he gets the pass off, you're already at a disadvantage. You're sending more guys than you have to put out there in coverage. That's the Achilles heel of blitzing. But here's the good thing about it is those blitzes have been getting home. And in big moments, yeah, you might give up a big chunk play 20 yards down the field, but they clamp it up when it gets down to the red zone. That's the idea. You want to get more points. Our offense is good enough to score on every drive. And if it isn't, then they'll lose. But they're in the game. They're one of the two best teams in the NFC. And Ryan Mercer, that right there, we are aligned, my friend. The key is running the football. If our best players, which are Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, and Taylor Decker, can control the line of scrimmage and run that ball downhill and be in control of the game, control the clock, control the time of possession, keep McCaffrey off of the field, keep that dynamic offense off of the field. That's the key. It's going to be an ugly game, guys. The last time the Lions played a defense like this was the Jets last year. You got to be able to win ugly in the NFL. You got to be able to win a game 20-17. The good defenses are just going to make all of those names go away. A pass rush, pressure. If they get pressure on Brock Purdy the whole time, how well is he going to do? Well, he's definitely not going to do as well as he would if he had a clean pocket. Same thing with Jared Goff. If our best players fail, which our best players are Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, if our best players fail, then probably Jared Goff is going to fail. But our best players are our best players for a reason. And I think that they will be our best players. I think that they can hold that stellar defensive line back, and Jared Goff will be able to pick apart that defense. Somebody's going to be open. We got a lot of skilled players too. But that's the key. Right in the middle. Right in the middle, baby. It's in the trenches. That's where the game is won. Whoever wins the trenches, those skill players are going to get a big game. And the skill players will get all the credit. For sure. But the offensive line and the defensive line, that's where the real battle is. That's where the game will be won. Who is tough? Lions are a gritty team. I would run to Vegas and take the Lions in the points. I would go get that getting while the getting is good. While it's at 7, go get it. Go get it because it'll be 5 by the time Sunday kickoff is. So go get that money. Go get that money. What does Mark say? Let's see what Mark says. It's funny. Of all the talk on TV is Purdy, not much on Goff. And he's been to the Super Bowl. That's true. Hey, and the thing is it's Detroit versus everybody. And that's the way it's been. It's been nice to have the Lions Den, right? The Lions Den. They didn't sell any tickets to any outsiders. To have our own lair. You come into our area and it's a different ball game there. But Detroit versus everybody has been the moniker entire season. Detroit versus everybody. Ain't nobody think that we were going to be here, but they are. But what a better way to feel that when you're going out against Goliath. I mean, let's be honest. San Francisco was the number 1 seed. They were number 1 seed for a reason. They lost 3 games where they didn't have their best players in, with no Christian McCaffrey. But other than that, they've been the best defense, best offense. It's Goliath. We're going into San Francisco as David with a slingshot and some rocks and precise accuracy, and we're aiming for them kneecaps. And then the Lions will feast upon their kneecaps. So, Aaron Glenn was going to be a head coach next year, but he's improved this defense. He's improved it year to year to year. Aaron Glenn, we salute you, my friend. I don't know if I should say we. I salute you. Russell Wayne is an Aaron Glenn fan. That defense obviously follows him. They believe in him. And he hasn't been given the open checkbook like the offense has. Everything from the get-go was put into the offense. Anything that was left over. They kept TJ Hawkinson. They kept Taylor Decker and Ragnow. They drafted Penei Sewell. They put all their chips onto the offense and tried to build the offense first. And it's been obvious that that's what they've been doing. So, to me, in my opinion, Aaron Glenn has done more with less. So, has Aaron Glenn improved the defense? It's not a myth. It's a fact. It's a fact. You can't dispute that fact because every stat, every metric points into the direction that the defense is better. And he's still operating from a talent deficiency. He's built this defense around the fact that he knows that he can't cover a number 1 wide receiver. And the defense has been opportunistic, playing in lockstep with the offense, being able to produce. And they are in the NFC Championship for a reason. And one of the big reasons is the way that Aaron Glenn has this defense playing right now. I mean, you can point to that 100-yard receiver. You want to point that as a negative, that's going to be our Achilles heel. That's fine. You're entitled to that. But where else is the production coming from? That's why. That's what you call bend but don't break. Yeah, you give up a lot of yards to the X receiver, but you ain't giving up no rushing yards. You're shutting them down completely over the middle of the field. You just got one guy that's getting you. Last week it was 2. I guess you could say Otten. I mean, he had 60 yards of receiving. I'm sure Jeremy was about ready to point that out, but yeah, I realized you had over the middle. They were getting beat, but they were sending those blitzes, guys. They were trying to get home to Baker, and they got home to him. You send those extra guys, you make them throw the ball early. Boom, interception. They want to blame Mike Evans on a drop. Well, no, the pressure got right there to Baker Mayfield. He threw a ball a little bit behind Mike Evans, and he popped it up in the air, and Chauncey was there. So that's the type of defense. We're trying to get takeaways, guys. I don't give a shit about yards. Miss me with the yards. The yards don't mean anything. I don't care if they give away a historic amount of yards. Just don't give up touchdowns. Don't give up touchdowns. Keep your offense scoring that 30 points. You can score 31 points. I think they can beat any team that's left. like that. Let's see what we got in here in the comments. I'm able to do this show from my phone, which is an amazing thing. All right, let's see what else we got here. Lions are as good as the good teams. And this is a question that we've had. I've had this this question in here for a while now, and it's a question that's changed people's their idea of if the Lions can win the NFC. As a matter of fact, when I put this up in the first place, I was laughed at. We were laughed at on the show when we put this up. I made this graphic the week the Lions lost to Chicago in Soldier Field. I made this graphic, and when I did, we got laughed at. And I think that on a scale of 1 to 10 here, I think that this number is going up and up and up, because now you're in the game that can take you there. Chad Taylor says 10. Like that. See, this is good trash talking, guys. You know, if he's in here still talking trash, I don't even know what team Ryan likes. I mean, he can't be a Lions fan talking like that. If you're calling us kittens, you're obviously a fan of one of the other teams, and that's fine. I think that he's a Packer fan, and for that, I appreciate you. You know, especially coming on to, you know, a Lions show. You come in here, and good luck with the little kittens. Yeah. And he threw something else in there. There's a reason why the Rams traded him. Yeah. You know why the Rams traded him? Is because McVay, he even admitted that he overreacted. You know, even in that Super Bowl that he lost, you know, Brandon Cooks dropped a touchdown pass in that game. I mean, Jared Goff was just as much of a victim in that game as it was that they played bad. You know, Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time for a reason. It is what it is, man. You know, you run into the guy, but you want to overreact over a game? Wow, you traded a quarterback that you just paid. You gave him to us for a discount. So in a sense, they gave us Jared Goff 2 first-round picks. Let's put this into perspective, guy. Let's put this into perspective. Like, there's a reason that they traded. That's fine. Jared Goff has the most experience of any quarterback left in playing in big games, for one. They got 2 first-round picks that turn into Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Ifeatu Melifonwu. You know, they always would say when Stafford was here, well, it takes more than one person to win the game. You can't just be all Calvin. And you're right. When you got 3 players eating up 70% of your salary cap, it's hard to build a team around them. So what did Brad Holmes do? He turned Matthew Stafford into Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Ifeatu Melifonwu, and Jamison Williams. Not bad, huh? It isn't all about one person. You need more than one person to win. So turning one player into 6 impact players without losing a step on. I mean, and getting an upgrade in quarterback. You know, I mean, they went head to head. Jared Goff did something here that Matthew Stafford never did. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford. You went to a loaded team and you won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. But Jared Goff just beat you head to head. And if Jared Goff finishes the job, goes to a Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, I mean, you would have to say that the Lions won that trade at that point. I mean, some could argue that the Lions won that trade already. Because here's another thing people don't think about when it comes to Lions Stafford versus Goff, right? It isn't just about Stafford versus Goff. Stafford's 29 years old. Stafford's 35, 36 with a family. He's already got a Super Bowl ring. The Lions are going to get the better back end of this deal. But here's the thing. The Rams already won the trade from their point of view. They traded. They got Matthew Stafford. They brought in Von Miller. They had Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, loaded defense, loaded offense with Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp. And he got it done. Can't take anything away from him. They got instant gratification. Sure, Stafford could play for a couple more years, but I mean, he's heading to the twilight. He might be getting to a point where he's got more money than anybody. He's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. And I agree with this, Fred. Here, let me read your comment here. Fred says that the Stafford trade, everyone was talking about how the Lions lost it. And now that the trade is ever, and we're seeing it turn out that this trade that the Lions won. Look at it now. And I think that you could say both teams won, Fred. Both teams won the trade. See, right here, this is I do believe 49ers and the Ravens are just a couple steps higher. And you could be right, but you could be wrong. Here's the thing. There's 4 teams that are left, and they got 1 team ahead of you. And you can't tell me, Ryan, you can't tell me that you watched that 49ers team last week against the Green Bay Packers, and you have all that confidence. The Green Bay Packers were running all over that team. 112 yards on the ground. How do you beat Nick Bosa? Run right at it. So if Green Bay Packers were able to run on that team, and the Lions offensive line is better than the Green Bay Packers offensive line. So I know that's a transference of property. Usually don't work like that, but they got a shot. The Lions got a good shot in this game. When you have a good offensive line, then you have a chance. And that's what's up. And that's good. That's good. I hope it's competitive. I think it's going to be everything that an NFC championship game should be. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I think the teams are going to be beating the crap out of each other on that offense and defensive line. I mean, let's go. What would you expect? I mean, a physical team like the San Francisco 49ers, and the Lions build a team on the moniker of we're going to bite kneecaps off. Everything is as it should be. It's the two best teams in the NFC facing off to go to the Super Bowl. Nobody believed in the Cowboys. You know, they can have that stupid win down there. You know, Jerry Jones can buy his wins. He can't buy championships. I mean, what a joke that is now. Like, everybody's making fun of the NFL on that Decker reported thing. It's just funny. But now, everything is as it should be. The Lions should have won that game. They deserved to win that game. They didn't. But who cares? The Packers went in there and smacked them around and proved that they didn't deserve to even be in there. And then there was a real battle between Green Bay and San Francisco. Great game. San Francisco comes out on top. Lions have a couple two hard home games. I mean, it's gonna be great. Lightning and thunder. Alex says Christian McCaffrey might be the best running back on the field, but the Lions have the best tandem. A little thunder, a little lightning, a little thunder and lightning. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I've had a lot of fun. And just doing this thing from my phone. I didn't even get a chance to make a graphic, so I got to throw that one at you right there. Tomorrow, you know, Good Vibes Thursday, we're going to talk about both these games. And, you know, that's the way it's been all week. You know, Jeremy's been talking about these games on Bustin' Balls with Jeremy B at 10 a.m. in the morning. And then you can count on Football Talk with Russell Wayne at 11. Every weekday. And even during the off season, man, we're going to cover everything. We're going to hit free agency. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about getting the team better.
I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Life is not that complicated. You get up, you go to work, you eat 3 meals, you take one good shit, and you go back to bed.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win.
And thank everybody for watching. Please go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Main Event 365. There you go, right there. The Villain Squad is affiliate marketing partners with the NFL. NFL Shop. NFL Shop. You can use our link, get 25% off. And that's the NFC North Championship plaque right there. Pretty cool. You can get that. Use our link. Thank you for supporting our show. This is Lions Talk with Russell Wayne. Thank you to Main Event Mike for filling in today on the hosting. And faith, family, and football. In that order. I want to invite you guys to my church. If you're in the Genesee County area and you're looking for a good word, NTC Church on the corner of Bristol-Belsey Road, Burton, Michigan. The service starts at 9:30. I get to play in the praise and worship group as a guitar player and a singer. And what an incredible honor it is. And then you get a fantastic word. And then you get a fantastic word from Pastor Kevin Galloway. Faith, family, and football. We got a link in our description for our NTC Give. And it's such a wonderful group of people that are serving the community. So just know, if you give to that link, we're doing outreach. We were able to help needy families, and it's not just buying turkeys or buying presents, but actually serving them with the people from our church. Helping. That's the first thing. It's the most important thing. You know, all this football stuff is fun, but faith, family, and football. And the family and football part is the easy part. You know, that is hanging around, watching a football game, having a reason to spend time with your family, and use football to create those moments. And don't let football use you. Don't turn into a butthole when things don't go your way. And thank you for watching the broadcast. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. And may the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow morning. Football Talk with Russell Wayne. God bless.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifati Malafanu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
It's not fair. They were so happy. It's not gonna be okay.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. You have a great day.